Hello, everyone, and welcome to the $1 Million Speaker Podcast. This is a podcast where we talk about how you can become $1 million speaker, reach millions of people, and make millions doing it. Hi, I'm Arvee Robinson. I'm the master speaker trainer, international speaker, and author of Speak Up, Get Clients. And every week we do a show, and we have a special guest on the show. And I am so excited to have this guest because not only is he just a guest and a speaker, $1 million speaker, but he is a dear, dear friend of mine. And we have known each other, well, probably about 17 or 18 years. So I'm really excited to have him on the show. And he is none other than Ken D. Foster. And Ken is a business strategist. He's a best-selling author, and he is the producer of a show called The Voices of Courage, which is syndicated in over 170 countries. He's a change maker who pushes the envelope and challenges people to think differently, to see the unseeable, to know the unknowable, and to do the impossible. He specializes in working with people who are committed to up-leveling their lives, maximizing their highest potential, and contributing to making the world a better place. Now, he's got a new book out, which we're going to talk about today, The Courage to Change Everything: Daily Strategies and Essential Wisdom to Awaken Your Inner Genius. Features 365 daily lessons that instills the wisdom and wealth principles deeply into your subconscious so that you will meet challenge, change, and opportunity with courage. So let's bring in my special guest, Ken Foster. Yes, welcome, Ken. Welcome. Welcome, Ken. I put him into the... Welcome, Ken. Yay. Awesome.
Well, hello, everyone. Hello, Arvee. How are you today? I'm so excited to be here with you.
I am terrific, and I'm so excited to be here. You are truly $1 million speaker, not only $1 million speaker, but $1 million radio show host. I've told you before, I've been on your show, and I've told you you're one of the very best radio show hosts that I have ever had the pleasure to work with. So I'm so excited that you are on the $1 Million Speaker Podcast today. So share with us, Ken, what do you think the characteristics truly are of $1 million speaker?
Well, I'll say the number one characteristic of $1 million speaker is courage. It's the courage to walk into the unknown, the courage to be on stage, the courage to be vulnerable, the courage to be able to speak their truth, their wisdom, the courage to speak for what they stand for. It is courage, hands down.
Amen. I love that, courage. Now, you're all about courage, right? You're all about courage. Let's talk a little bit about your radio show, your Voices of Courage show that you are the producer of.
Well, that show started with courage.
Yeah.
I was invited to go into studio and to be a co-host on a radio show in San Diego. And I thought, well, okay, I've always had that dream, in the back of my mind. I thought, well, let me go do that. So that was about 4 years ago. And what it led to was a lot of challenges, a lot of growth. I didn't realize how much was involved in radio. And I guess a lot of us don't know what's involved in our dreams until we start taking steps towards them. But for me, it was such a rewarding experience. So I started with one little show in San Diego in KCBQ. We grew that I put myself on another series of stations. We grew that to 18 AM FM stations, and I started a podcast. And we grew that to 70 podcast platforms. And eventually we got on live streaming. And now we're on TV all over the world. So now we're syndicated in 170 countries. And of course, the guests have changed too. So I started out with my family and friends on
Right.
And and anybody that would come on a show with me, right? Come on, I got this great show. And now we have A-listers coming on the show, and we have people like yourself, Arvee, that are masters at their craft. They're leaders. They're individuals that always have courageous stories to help us to understand their mindset. That's what I've been curious about for years. What is the mindset of success? When I had no money, when I was struggling, I was like reading Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill and wondering, what are these principles that these people can create wealth with? Well, good news is I figured them out, which has created the wealth in my life. So.
Right. And you haven't always been a producer of the radio show. Why don't you share a little bit about your journey? And, because I know you're a business strategist, you're a coach. So share a little bit about your journey, because you've been on this journey for quite some time. I know you and I've known each other for many, many years. So why don't you share with the listeners a little bit about you and your journey?
My journey started with meditation. That's really what kicked it off for me. When I learned that there's more to life than just the outer game of business or the outer game of life. When I realized that there's an inner game that we must really, really understand. And, in the beginning, when I started back in 1992, I could meditate for at least 5 minutes, right? And, that was where I started. And I learned that the mind is the cause of our bondage, and the mind is the cause of our liberation. And as I started to understand the mind more and more, I started to realize that the still point, the 0 point, is where we all have to go. Leonardo da Vinci said, "Isolation is the price of greatness." Here's one of the greatest inventors of our time, way back when, telling us, guiding us, showing the way. Paramahansa Yogananda, one of the current sages of our time here in the United States and India, said that stillness is the price of greatness. See, I believe we need to learn from masters like that. We need to take their advice and take it to heart. So I did. And in fact, who else did was Stephen Jobs. Stephen Jobs, when he passed, he liked to control everything. Well, he controlled his funeral service. And when he passed, everybody got a little brown book. And in that little brown book was a book called Autobiography of a Yogi by Paramahansa Yogananda. Stephen's message was to self-actualize, right? That's really what I'm talking about. So I use business to self-actualize. I think you do too, Arvee.
Absolutely.
Don't we? We use business to self-actualize ourselves. So that's where I started. And, my journey has been difficult. It hasn't been easy. I've had several business failures along the way. I've had a lot of successes along the way, but I have to tell you, I think I've learned more from my failures than I ever had my successes. So failure for me is, it's a place of exploring and understanding and learning what's working, what's not working, and what I need to do to improve. And as I do that continually, I'm not afraid of failure because I've had my share. But what happens is that when we stop being afraid of failure, we're able to walk into the unknown and be comfortable with it, because that is the sign of a great entrepreneur. Now, I'm not saying not to plan. I'm not saying not to create your business strategies, and not saying don't surround yourself with the right people. But I am saying this. It all starts with that 0 point. It starts with walking into the unknown and being able to follow that dream that is going to generate success for you. I'd like to say one last thing. I'm on this Clubhouse app, Arvee, right. And right now, I have a new TV show I'm putting out there. So I'm a moderator in a room, and I'm helping a friend of mine, George Caceres, to vet 100 TV shows. He's looking for 100 talk shows to put on his network. So I'm one of the people that's vetting those. So I've been listening to hundreds of people pitch their shows, which has been such an incredible experience, right?
Right.
But I've been doing that, not only being of service. I wanted to walk into that room and to grow with the group. And what I've learned, there's so many ideas and wonderful people in this world that have amazing ideas. And some of them have pitched their shows and haven't gone through to the other side, right? A lot of them actually, probably 80-90% of them don't get to go
Right.
onto the network.
Right.
I've taken a few of those that I feel their heart, and I've coached them. I just did this, for 5 of them. 4 out of 5 have gone through, by the way, that I coached. But what I coached them on was getting out of their head and getting into their heart. That's what you teach on stage. That's what we're talking about here. When you can come from your heart, because if you got an idea and it's all about making money, or it's about what you think somebody else wants to hear, to be on their network in this case, it's never going to fly. So
Right.
I reconnect these people with their dream, their heart, and I reconnect them with their passion, their power, their purpose. And when that happens, magic happens, right?
Amen. And that's truly the secret of becoming a $1 million speaker, is speaking from the heart. Get out of the head, speak from the heart, and give the audience what they want through, by passion and all of that. So I want to talk more about your new show. You mentioned it, but I want you to share with everyone what you shared with me before this show, because this isn't just a regular TV show. It's like, can you never do anything just regular? That's what I love about you. You always are up leveling. You're always doing it different. You're always, pushing the envelope yourself, just like what you help others do. So tell us a little bit about this new and upcoming show that is just so exciting. Everyone's just got to hear it.
Well, I like to kind of start with the basics there before I get into that. 'Cause I think people learn from our experience of what we went through. And so for my radio show, I knew I needed to take it to TV, and I didn't know anything about TV. And here's when I started radio, when I started my podcast, when I started my TV, they all start the same way. Me not knowing a lot, but having a dream. So the first thing I do is I put a group of people around me, a mastermind group, and we meet consistently every 2 weeks. I do this with all my groups. And I contribute my gift. My gift is putting the groups together. My gift is to coaching them to see the unseeable, know the unknowable, and do the impossible, right? That's what I do. But I bring in people that are really smart. So I did that maybe a year ago for this TV. And I didn't know where it was going to go. I brought a mastermind with a bunch of people that own TV networks. What do I know about TV networks? Zero. Nothing. I couldn't even speak the language when we started. But they didn't know about my gifts either. So I'm taking them on an inner journey, right?
Right.
So anyway, so that's where we started. But what happened is I saw this guy on AGT, Brandon Leak. And he won the America's Got Talent for 2020. He won it. He was the first spoken word artist. And I said to myself, you know what? This country doesn't need any more information. Just Google it. What we need is courage and truth and wisdom and love pouring through our TV screens. Who better to do that than word artists? So I thought that was it. That was a spark that born this TV show. So again, I don't know anything about putting together TV shows. So I put my mastermind group around me. We've been in pre-production for 7 months. And now we have a treatment done. We've got the LLC done. We're bringing it to the world. So why am I telling you all this? Well, I hope you're learning that if somebody like me can do that, you can do that. Honestly, you really can. You can do whatever you want here. And Arvee is a tribute to that. When she started her speaking dream, she just had an idea. I was there with her when she was going to teach all these classes. I was there at the beginning of that.
That's right.
Dream. Remember that, Arvee?
Absolutely.
And you expanded that dream. So anybody can do this. We're not special in that way. We're just people that are persistent like crazy and have the courage to pursue those dreams.
Right. And that's the key: courage and persistence, and doing it consistently. So, never giving up. And I've seen so many people throughout the years that they're doing 5 or 6 different things than when they started, and they didn't complete. And so when you and I met, I'll never forget, I was still in corporate America. It was 17, 18 years ago, but I was starting to go online, and back then we had teleclasses, and I was listening to some teleclasses, and somehow you and I got connected, and I went to the Bahia Hotel for Stephen E. conference.
Right.
And then I had bought your book, or they gave me the book or something. And remember I had your book. I wished I had brought it and got it autographed way back then. And I still have it. We're going to have to do that one day.
Someday.
And I saw you, and you were like a superstar to me. And you still are, because you know everybody and you really are a superstar. But now I'm a superstar too.
You're a
And
superstar
I
too,
mean, I
girl.
was like, and one thing I loved, and I have to share this why I'm sharing the story. You were so kind, you were so sweet, and you just talked to me. And here I thought you were like a movie star, and you were just a regular, nice, kind person. And I'll never forget that about you. You didn't have ego, you didn't act, like you were better than anybody. You were just kind and took some time and talked to me. And I just love that and appreciate that. And now look what's happened throughout the years. We've worked together, shared stages together, and the rest is history.
The rest
So
is history. And we've shared a lot of stages together.
yeah.
We've shared a whole bunch. And I love what you said about, you know, I'm human. I fail. I'm not always kind. But
No.
but I was kind to you that day. So yeah, I'm glad I was, because it fostered this great relationship,
Yeah,
and I really I value so much our relationship,
me
Arvee.
too.
And I did want to finish on that TV show. I wanted to say this. If you are a word artist, if you're a poet, if you're a singer-songwriter, and you'd like to compete for $250,000 prize money, and you, more importantly than the money, you have a passion to get your words out in the world, and you know that it's important to get your words out in the world, then I encourage you to come on to Clubhouse. And we have pitch sessions going on starting next week. And look for Voices of Courage on Clubhouse. And you can go right to that room. You can see our schedule, or you can find me, Ken D. Foster, on Clubhouse. And you look at my profile. Our events are on in the profile. And I'd love to invite you to come and pitch us. We want to hear you. We got some of the top producers in the world that'll be there listening to you, not to scare you, but to lift you up to the next level. So I hope you'll take me up on that.
Well, that's a great idea. And again, with Clubhouse, you can go in, you can sneak in and just listen and observe. So if you're not ready to do your pitch, go and listen to some of the other pitches, get some ideas, or reach out to Ken for help. I mean, he didn't do it alone, and none of us can do anything really well alone. So go and get the help that you need. So thank you, Ken. Now, what is it? Okay, so we have a TV show, you have your radio show. What else is in the future of Ken D. Foster?
Well, my future is in the moment, and it's being generated in this moment as we speak together, and so is everybody else's future. One of the things that I know is that I've learned I don't need inspiration every now and then. I don't need motivation every now and then. How about you? Do you? I don't think so. I think we need it every single day.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time,
All the
right?
time.
At least I do. My
Yeah.
mind can go, my mind's a dangerous place to be sometimes, right?
Right.
So one of my latest projects is, my latest book, which is the foreword was written by Stephen M.R. Covey. Got a great story around that one. But it's called The Courage to Change Everything. And it's daily strategies and essential wisdom to awaken your inner genius. I'm hoping you can see it okay. And it's about a 440 page hardback book. Now, who's going to read a 400-page book? Nobody today. Who will read a daily wisdom and add some very strong, pertinent questions to get your mind sparked, and get the principles from the cutting edge principles from the West and the wisdom from the East? Who would read that 10 minutes a day?
Right, I would.
I know I will and do. And so that's why I wrote that book. People can find that, Arvee, at couragetochange.us, couragetochange.us. It's a book about, it took me 6 years to write because I wanted to search the world for the most profound wisdom from the greatest teachers of our time and pastimes and infuse it in one document that I could read and you could read to start reprogramming our minds with wisdom. Again, we don't need any more information. We need wisdom in our own lives. That's what that book delivers. So that's kind of where I am with my project today. People are loving. I'm getting rave reviews. We're selling books like crazy. And I'll say this: I did something really weird with that book. I never tried it before.
What?
But when somebody goes to my site right now and buys the book, I don't know how long I'll do this for. But if you buy the book right now, you will not pay the retail $35 for the hardback. You'll pay $19.97 plus you're going to get 2 sessions with me. I call it the limitless experience. You're going to get 2 sessions with me, and I'm going to give you a quick start to this book that you will be able to reprogram your thinking to actually stay in it. Can you imagine reading the book and staying with it for a whole year?
That's powerful.
Do that.
Now,
you're going to reprogram your thinking.
2 sessions with you. I mean, I know, worth thousands of dollars. So I'm going to go buy the book.
Yeah.
Tell us again the URL where we can go and buy the book and get the 2 sessions with you.
Sure. It's courage2change.com. courage2change.com.
Is it .com? I think you said.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's
.us.
.us. I'm so sorry. It's .us.
Courage2change.us. I was listening. So good.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
All right, Kim. Well, our time is, it's almost over, and I wish we had more time to spend. I just love spending time with you and your beautiful wife, Judy. And what would you like to leave our listeners with today?
Just ask a question. If I were courageous, what are the next 3 steps I would take to manifest my dreams? Just ask that question. If I was courageous, what are the 3 steps I would take to manifest my dreams? And no matter what happens, stick with your soul. Stick with that power, that passion that's within you, because within you is the power to see the unseeable, know the unknowable, and to do the impossible in your life. I hope you listen to that over and over again and think about that in your mind. What are the 3 steps that I can take? I am the one that is invincible. I am the one that is all powerful. I'm the one that can manifest my dreams. Just sit with that. Okay? That's what I do, and it works. Hope you enjoy.
Beautiful, Kim. Thank you so much. We so appreciate your wisdom, your brilliance, your own courage to step out there and do what you've been called to do, and helping others too. So thank you so much for that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, go get Kim's book, Courage. One more time, courage.
To change.us.
Courage2change.us.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Ken. All right, everyone, that wraps up our show today. Thank you so much for joining us. Join us next week for more on how you can be a $1 million speaker. Bye for now.